guys, my name is Addie, and I'm a first year at HWS, and I normally tutor at North Street Schools, but right now I am at home in Massachusetts. And a fun fact about me is that I actually have studied a lot of poetry in English classes, and I've taken a lot of poetry classes in college. So I thought today we would learn a little bit about poetry, and we're going to be writing a poem together called a haiku. And you guys can try one of these on your own at home, and I think that since Mother's Day is coming up, this would be a really fun thing to give to your mom. You could write your mom a little haiku, and you could give it to her, and she would really appreciate it. And it's a really short, easy poem, and I'm going to explain exactly what it is. So in order to understand haikus, you guys are going to have to understand what a syllable is. So a syllable is kind of a unit of organization in order to understand a sequence of speech. So my name, Addie, has 2 syllables, and you can kind of sound out where the syllables are. Addie, because you say Addie. And you can kind of tell where the syllables are. I learned this trick when I was younger by the movement of your chin. So Addie. So your chin goes down twice. You may not necessarily always be able to count on that, but it usually helps. So let's look at some other words. There's the word, let's see, clockwork. So let's try that. Clockwork. So that has 2 syllables. Let's see, let's try a longer word. What about tangerine? So tangerine, let's see, tangerine. Tangerine has 3 syllables. And then there's sometimes words that only have 1 syllable. For example, man. The word man only has 1 syllable. Okay, so I think you might be getting the gist of that. Next, in order to write a haiku, we're going to write the first line that's going to have 5 syllables. So you could do 1 word that is 5 syllables. You could do 5 1-syllable words, or you could combine them. So you could do a 2-syllable word, a 1-syllable word, and another 2-syllable word. So let's start writing a haiku. Okay, so here I wrote a line and it says, "Mom, I love you lots." So let's test that out and see if that has 5 syllables. Because if it does 5 syllables, that could be our first line in our poem. So let's see. Mom, I love you lots. Mom, I love you lots. That has 5 syllables. So that's 5 1-syllable words. Okay, so this part's tricky. So this is the middle line of our haiku. So we have our top line, and our middle line has 7 syllables. So this is a long one. Let's try and write a line that has 7 syllables. So I wrote my next line. So let's see. The first line says, "Mom, I love you lots," and that had 5 syllables. The next line says, "You are an amazing mom." So let's see how many syllables that is. You are an amazing mom. So I counted 7 syllables, and we can test it out with the chin trick. Let's see. You are an amazing mom. 7. Okay, so let's hear our haiku all together right now, what we have so far. Mom, I love you lots. You are an amazing mom. This is the last part of our haiku, and it is the last line since there are only 3 lines in haiku. In the last line, we go back to 5 syllables, so it's a little bit shorter this time. It's the same size as the first line. So let's see, 5-syllable line. Let me write that. Okay, so I wrote the last line. So since we are going to give this poem I'm going to give this poem to my mom for Mother's Day, and you can give this to your mom for Mother's Day, or you could give a poem to your dad or your brother or your sister, or you could give it to anyone, or you could keep it for yourself if you want to write a poem for yourself. But right now, let's see. I'm writing this poem for my mom. So my last line says, "Happy Mother's Day." So let's see how many syllables that is. Remember, we need 5 syllables. Happy Mother's Day. So, Happy Mother's Day. 5 syllables. So let's read our poem all together. Mom, I love you lots. You are an amazing mom. Happy Mother's Day. Okay, so that was actually a haiku. So if you guys were reading that poem along with me or helping me write it, we have written a haiku. So if you want, you can try this on your own. You can try and write a haiku. If you end up having it too many syllables, don't worry. It may not be a haiku anymore, but you are still writing a poem. So I think a poem is a great idea. You can write one for your mom for Mother's Day, or you can write one for anyone. And it's just a great way to pass the time, and it's a really fun activity.